Mhm. Hello there everyone, this is I am Mark 3 and welcome back to a bit more Deep Among the Swarm, digging holes for science and purpose, and honestly we are doing just fine. Ooh, medical gun, yes please. Craft. Picking up where we left off, we just reached a underground fortress kind of place, and we're going to go check that out. This is going to be another like half-hourish episode, and we are going to see how it goes. Though I will also be I'll be fast-tracking the meta progression and see how that feels to everyone. But the goal here is really try and upgrade my troops a little bit, try and upgrade my guns with any spare parts I've got after upgrade my troops, and then go from there. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Alrighty, quick summary time then, shall we? Since this will be on time skip. I've just installed a rifle upgrade, which is a blanket plus damage to all rifle components. As you saw there, I've got legendary armor now on my soldier with a grip to increase reload speed and decrease shot spread. I also put together a medical soldier as well, so that's a mobile form of healing. I don't normally do that, but I've got that in reserve. I also spent some points in the factory, so I got a purple grade cannon turret and a purple grade medical turret to help round out my static defenses a bit better. The medical turrets especially, as Happy Aether noted in the comment there, which I'll go over when we get into the level, that is very helpful for longevity because it heals damaged buildings in range and also injured soldiers in range, so very helpful to have. Other than that, no further upgrades to report, except for the fact I forgot to upgrade my forge. Yeah, so that's still a relatively new mechanic to me, but, you know. Oh well. Jam it in there now, that'll be there for next time. Let's go ahead and drop into the level, shall we? Start the mission. Okay, so we started out with what looks like a bigger core here, bigger corridor. Let's go ahead and drop out our initial mining sets. Bop, bop. Hope I put it in the right place, wouldn't it? There we go. Couple of initial turrets to help make sure, because we don't know where exactly the enemy's going to come from. But we've got enemies coming from both sides though already, which is less than ideal. So 2 turrets each way, and let's get some initial surveying. We are at the bottom edge of the map, so I want to get the vision tower down here. And this is also where I figured I would go for comments as I get... There we go. Behold the glory of an upgraded vision tower. I can see a lot of this area. Plus I think this map is probably actually kind of small, so that's probably part of it. We won't go that way. So, comments. We've actually got 3. I will start off in order of smallest to largest, just so that we, you know, do it that way. Normally I do them in order of posting, but I think I'll just slightly alter that this time. So, shortest is from King Clarken. Hello, is this the same iron that had a Minecraft server about a decade ago? And then a sweat drop face. It's like, yes, actually, I did have a Minecraft server about a decade ago. Hello, it's been quite some time. Yes, that was me. It's the same Ion that did that. For those that are unaware, I used to play Minecraft with friends primarily met over Xbox Live at that point. And I actually had an okay computer compared to things at the time, so I actually hosted and ran a number of personally hosted Minecraft servers. Usually with the Tekkit mod and stuff like that installed, but that was just a fun little thing we did for a while there. It's been quite some time since that last happened, but just letting you know that is kind of a thing that was going on. So yeah, I did that. Though I also helped out with friends that were hosting their servers as well, just like I'd go in and build stuff. Like I think I spent an overnight session building a railway track on a server that then we stopped using immediately afterwards. So that was, yeah, interesting. Oh, the swarm's got corruption throwers, which are basically their version of towers to help protect them. Going on, that's okay though. So yeah, that was the thing. Let's get some base upgrades installed and some. Let's get some resource storage in, just so that I've got that going on.
Research complete.
Thank you for the research complete. What was I? So yes, that was me. So, next comment is from Clint, as I send group 2 into motion. Just go over there. Tap over to you. Great new games. Timescapes or FF. I'm not quite sure what FF means there. I often don't get an acronym that I'm not familiar with. I think you mean freeform. Fun. Get more in, everyone sees what you're going into. Time-lapse the meta also sounds cool, so that's why part of why I tried that previously on the actual between missions bit. Just kind of glossed over that a little bit and then gave you a quick summary at the end of it. Group 1 is getting a bit battered, but they're keeping going. They have found some drill cores though, that's worth noting. I'm also slightly disappointed about this map so far because it said Forgotten Outpost. I was thinking maybe we'd find like abandoned structures and things, but so far it's been standard stuff. There are a number of drill cores in a very tight area though, we'll say that. Clint also says, just good to see 30 minutes episodes. Yeah, more game, less time. Yeah, it's been quite a while since we had 30-minute episodes. But they're getting a bit close there. That's okay though. I'll just go ahead and slap in some defences. But this is kind of how I treat it. It's like, especially on the earlier levels, I use the troops to go forward, and then the defences are the backstop. And I don't think I'm mining any titanium yet, so that's why that's not working.
Incoming.
It's okay, I'm sure the troops will be fine. Just need to make. There we go, right. So, oh, Group 1's in slight trouble. But it's not too much just yet. This is why I prioritise getting the troops upgraded at first. And this also rolls into Happy Aphers' comment as well. Just to let them do their thing. This one is slightly more concerning. I will install a couple of cannon turrets here because this is a corner position. Oh, the titanium mine right there. Boo. Group 1 managed to handle an entire swarm by itself. Good job, Group 1. Good job. Oops. Pulled you back. Problem is that I actually want to get resources out that way, just so that I can actually go ahead and, you know, get those cores, because I want those cores. Right, Happy Aphers' comment. I have this game too. Looks like about the same in meta progression as well. Yeah, it's the whole spiraling costs thing as you ramp up. I think the safest way for me to do this is actually to go this way for that. So yeah, it's I think that level of meta progression is actually pretty easy to get. Oops, that was a complete misclick there. I want that there. Just wait for those to get in close, and then I can actually get at least a trickle of titanium, which will be enough for most of my needs. Multiple cannons, that'll do. Okay, so, continuing. Looks like the playstyle's pretty different though. You focus on units at mission start, I focus more on towers. Both strategies are equally viable. I think early mission your method may be faster than mine. That's actually why I adapted it. Adopted it. I have adapted it over time as well, but I did start primarily on turrets, to be honest with you, when I first started playing this game. Just because, you know, tower defense game. Soldiers are an afterthought, but they are so necessary for expansion. Well, trying to go for a medic turret has proven quite effective since they can repair other buildings as well as units, as I mentioned earlier. Haven't tried repairing the drill core though. You can't. Spoiler there. The drill basically, as I said in the first part, once it's damaged, that's it. Oh, look at them go. Getting overrun, so completely lose the whole run. Honestly, as I said, I've never made it very much further than deeper into the start of the second zone. Mainly because I got overrun at that point, but there have been times when I've just not been paying attention to turrets and things, and a group has just managed to smash its way past or through a gap. And it's resulted in my run being lost partway through Cave Zone. There was a period when I was focused on upgrading the Iridium exclusively to massively speed up a run's depth time. And then I was just running out of parts, my equipment wasn't upgraded, and so that caused problems. There we go. We've basically covered everything we need to get here, so we're just going to go ahead and expand out the lines enough to get to the upgrades I want. That's those. Route 1's probably going to have to do some heavy lifting around this area. Oh, never mind. This area is going to need to do some heavy lifting as well. The problem is, as soon as you put it down, of course, they've got one hit point, and then they are probably going to collapse. But because the enemy is constantly coming after you, it's like not a lot you can do sometimes. I don't mind though, because it does penalise you because you lose the resources, but that's fine. Anyway, about unit expansion versus relying on the turrets. Later on, especially, the turrets become more important as the enemy ramps up. Especially like the end zone boss is also a good point where that sort of thing. Q. Try to make a note of that. Q is the shortcut I want to keep track of. But honestly, I don't think it's quite the right word for it, but earlier on in the run, it's absolutely fine to treat the swarm with contempt, I think is the good word for it. Yeah, it is contempt. Even the basic troopers can deal with the swarm for the first couple of levels without too much trouble. 11 is actually honestly overkill, I've found, with the early grouping. Oh, that was slightly out of range. That's okay. A little bit more, and we'll have what we want to. But I also expand the troop capacity faster. Like 11's good, probably from until about half or 3/4 of the way through the first zone, even with basic troops. But they do start to get run down fairly quickly, so that's why I upgrade the rifles and armour of the basic troopers as soon as possible. Because they can push out, and then I can just slap down turrets to shore up anything I need or want to try and hold on to. And let's face it, sending out a walking turret is more effective at expanding and securing territory than sending out, well, saving the resources and slowly building out a turret line. That's kind of the difference there. Oh, there we go. But that's why I do it that way. Anyway. That's all that. Let's head back to base, which is actually very light. Oh, there we go. See, something managed to creep past. Just I forgot to take out a nest. Whoops. But
forces are under attack.
I should not have any problem at all finishing this out. I'm just putting in some turrets and things as my last bit, but honestly, I'm probably going to lose some external areas because I'm not really fortified very much at all, but I don't really care. Reduce awareness each
Your
cycle, lasts for a
forces
short
are under
duration.
attack.
That's not useful. But yeah, that's it. I am disappointed by this map, honestly. Start the engines, yes please.
Incoming.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe there'd be like a wrecked base or something, because it said it was a ruined outpost, but honestly there's nothing that made me think of that, so... Oh well.
Your forces are under attack.
I might as well just actually... These are going to collapse anyway, so I'm going to pull my horns in. Just so we don't get spammed with your base is under attack. Let's keep going. Anyway. Hafer did have a little bit more to say though. Oh, I'll put in a couple of med turrets to shore these up, but this should be gracious plenty for everything really. As vigilant, don't care much. Post 20 minutes or 120 minutes makes a little difference. If you're interested in the content, watch regardless of length, though please do keep it below 2 hours. I don't have free time in chunks large enough to watch those videos in one sitting, if they're longer than that. Honestly, an hour was something I decided to go with. Well, they were nibbling on that wall there a little bit. But this is actually a concentration point of like multiple access routes, so it could do with a bit more extensive, I think, fortifications. Just weave in some extra medical turrets as well, just to keep that line held. This is under constant attack, but other than that, not really going on. Oh well, just leave it be. I've not actually required a upgrade hub yet. This becomes very important later on, again as the enemy ramps up. I settled in for an hour episodes because I didn't want to push longer, just because of what you said there. Like, it takes up more time, so people are less able to watch it all in one go. Ooh, I should have actually spotted that one. Big parts artifact. Whoops. I was focused on the expansion more than anything else. Oh well.
Research complete.
But yeah, sometimes the video will creep up to like an hour 20-ish, but if it's at that point, usually that's when I start splitting it into 2 videos rather than 1. That's kind of how that one goes.
Research complete.
The one last thing for RPA, if you like this game, you probably also like Proto Life. Give it a shot, I think you'll love it. I've never actually heard of Proto Life. I will look it up though, thank you. For some reason, I think of Spore when you say Proto Life. I don't know why. Maybe I've come across something previously, but we'll have to wait and see. I will say though, something that could probably do with skipping in general, oh good, there goes that parts artifact, is probably the fuel loading phase. Just because if the defences are set up, there's probably not much to talk about, or rather not much to show. And it's all about showing more game, isn't it? I think comfortably though, like two mission dives per episode is probably about right for this one. Yeah, I know, the Swarm Rage at 50% is absolutely fine, they aren't going to stop us. There we go. 15 minutes, a bit on the slower side. Got some raiding knowledge. 79 parts. That was actually pretty rich in parts, that one. I think there was a lot of wrecks actually scattered around the place. There's little black boxes which give you a good parts bonus for it. Also 11 forge cores. Ooh, heavy on those too. Parts and forge cores especially. Again, kind of disappointed I didn't see any like wrecked buildings or stuff, like terrain features, but yeah, well. That was just my thought there. Let's get all this spent up by immediately digging. And we'll see if it hits anything interesting. Then I think I'll do what I did before, just like time-lapse through and see how we do. Nearby drill, spend 5 parts, got 18 parts back. Okay. So that's why I think it's better to drill before you actually do all your upgrades, just because sometimes you'll need the resources for it. Nothing. And there we go. As you saw, I dumped all the forge cores into place. I went into command at getting support modules because I remembered that I hadn't actually upgraded my miner fully. It's still not orange tier, it's only purple. That's good. And then I focused on upgrading my troops a little bit further, though upgrading from here on out will probably focus more on the turret side of things. Regardless, there is a Lancer, which indicates there is now a heavier enemy type in this area, which can grant more rewards than the basic enemy types, but they are also pretty tough as well. So it's like a really heavy enemy, like a super heavy kind of thing. Basically a big beastie is around the place, and ooh, this is actually a pretty good defensive position we are starting out with. So let's go ahead and push our troops immediately. Just need to get the initial miner started out, because I did also upgrade the miner yield too, so that's going pretty well. This is a very defensible starting position. Ooh, wow. Let's get some vision going, shall we? This is towards the centre of the map, so that'll do fine. You also probably saw I upgraded my second troop type, so they deal twice the damage outputs of the regular troops, and they also have more health and armor besides. But they are also slower, so it's like I have a heavy shock troop kind of units available. Should I choose to deploy them? I'm not in a position where I actually need to deploy that kind of troop yet, so just going to leave that one be for the time being. Oops. Let's get in the troop upgrade there, and push on outwards. I decide where I want to try and get this defensive line. Let's go ahead and pop it, I think. Yeah, let's pop one here. Let's also pop a supply tower there, because that'll let me push through outside my wall with great ease. And then do that. And that'll be my access point there. Nice and easy. Okay, quick one. Viper. So Vipers are these little guys. These are actually enemy ranged attackers. I do have to be careful with them a little bit, because they can actually fire back relatively well. But they are not that much of a threat overall, honestly. So, I don't have to worry about them. Let's go ahead and push outwards. Let's core up that way. There's a massive swarm of enemies over this way. That's okay. I just need to keep on pushing out. Keep on pushing out, keep on pushing out. This is also kind of why I get 2 squads of troops built up ASAP, really, because then I can attack move one group, flick to the other one, and then go back and forth.
Incoming.
Nope, they didn't like that. That's okay though. I don't care. I am still kind of in the contempt phase. I think that it honestly might be a good word for it, actually, like the contempt phase of what I think of the enemy's potential. Increased seismic activity. What? Well, I don't know what that means. Oh, hello. It's the Lancer. Oh, the Lancer can tunnel. That's concerning. But nothing a bit of weighted firepower can't deal with. If that Lancer can do that, though, I kind of do want to have some... A cluster of turrets in here, though, might be good, but maybe you can only dig to, like, open squares. It seems to have a very short dig range. I will, however, go ahead and install some... Oh yeah, I don't have the resources for it. I will, however, start to reach out for other resource spots, just to accelerate the process. In particular, that's my nearest spot of titanium that I got sourced out. There's another spot here next to a layer, which will be a bit dicey, but nothing we can't suppress, as I said earlier. Just like get enough guns nearby and you're fine. So something I'm thinking of is maybe get a body factories, some body factories installed, which will let me actually go ahead and increase my max population. The question is how much by, really. Just have to keep going. Don't worry. Keep calm and carry on. It's all okay. Body factories actually increased by 10. That basically gives me another squad size almost in terms of extra troops. I'm just stamping out some of those more. Also, I'm going to spend some of this plentiful copper I've got just to expand on that a little bit more. Just like make my troops more effective. And I've also got the option to spend stuff on everything else. So, you know, I'm actually going to start slamming out upgrades just because I'm thinking of it, basically. That's my goal. Just like, if you think of it, do it. But this area does have a lot of winding tunnels, though, I'm noticing. Let's see. Best way to get out there would be to just...
Research complete.
Yeah, just do that. Nope. And there you go, see. One of those ranged ones doing its thing.
Research complete.
But I got the drill core, and that's all I was after there. Honestly, I don't need much else. At this point, any expansion is just going to be, like... just for any kind of extra resource out there. Like, drill cores, drill cores and artifacts are the things I'm after, more than anything else.
Incoming.
And trying to protect those lines enough to actually get my people out to get those things, and then that's about it. Have you built everything you're wanting? In fact, I'm going to scrap you, and I'm going to build there instead. This is Group 3. Group 3, you're the weakest squad, so I'm sending you straight into this really heavily infested area. I'm sure you'll be fine. Maybe not popping up. Oh, and there we go. That's one of the issues I mentioned before. We've had a power outage, so this entire area is now offline. There it goes. What actually did that? Not entirely sure. But some extra defences will help to ensure this is going. And something that I'm going to do with this basic gun turret, by the way, that I also did with the basic trooper, is I'm going to try to make sure that I never actually fit it out that it needs titanium, so that even for the word go, I can still deploy it without any extra trouble. Group 3 seems to have done pretty well. Yeah, they made it pretty far. That's fine. Just keep pushing forward. And go. Though honestly, I think 3 is the most I'm comfortable with squad-wise. Because even then I'm just hopping around back and forth, keeping an eye on them as I push them all forward. But this is also where things start to get a bit more dangerous as well, because I'm paying less attention to each individual squad. So, I do have to be aware of that one. I need to push a line up past here to get at that. That's going to be slightly dicey. That's okay, though. I say slightly dicey, it is literally just like, get out there, get the resource, and then that's it. I say that and I immediately lose one of the supporting things. Right. What even got that? I'm not sure. And that about wraps it up for this one. Though you can see my general plan for anything in here is just like storage, all the storage in the world.
Your forces
So
are
I'm missing
attack.
a tiny bit of radium, so I'm just going to run this radium extractor a little bit. That's being torn apart. I honestly don't mind, because I have got plentiful defences back here, and we now have max. So let's go ahead and start up the engine. Hey. But yeah, we're still at the point where, because I've been upgrading my basic troops, they can just like smash through anything that these levels right now can throw at me. Though that will ramp up pretty quick as we get
Your
deeper.
forces are under attack.
I should probably actually fit some medical turrets onto these wall sections just to make sure that everything stays operational. But the enemies are starting to swarm a little bit, aren't they? It's almost like there's the swarm in the name of the game. I don't know.
Your forces are under attack.
Yeah, this has got a layer and a section there, so this is honestly kind of close to a big spawning area. But it's only 2 points at where the enemy waves can come in. So compared to everything that's funneling in through this area, that's not too bad. Fun fact, by the way, I barely ever build the heavy armor troops unless these guys are so badly outmatched that they are dying too easily. So it's normally when I get to the second zone I even start building anyone with heavy armor. But that's just one of those odd little things, isn't it?
Your forces are under attack.
Ah, they finally took out the power pylons that were over there. That's okay. Apart from that bigger enemy that was able to just like bypass some of my defensive line, there's not much else to say about this area. Maybe a cannon turret or two will help thin things out a little bit faster. Oh, they're immediately going for the turrets, notice. Because the cannon turrets have splash inherently. So they can be very good to have extra slash projectiles on, but yeah, you can get splash modifiers for turrets too, among other things. Yeah, no risk yet. Except for that time when enemies got behind my lines and cut off the entire southern defensive line, but we don't talk about that, that didn't happen. Let's see, good amount of swarm essence this time around. Average parts, a few cores, that's all okay. Right, let's go ahead and decide what to do from here. I'm honestly considering going for radium efficiency. Let's boost that a bit so we can dig a bit deeper with each gun. We're not even 500 meters down yet. Other than that, miner, maxed that one out. I took out the one that increases drill production for one that gives miner output. So I got one miner, one generator, and one vision tower in my core. Not done anything factory-wise. I picked up rifle, as I said. I've also got the fire rate and reload upgrade here, which reduces reload time and increases fire speed. Just like general bonuses, that's only plus 2.5% to each because they're both positive. Yeah, normally you get like, if you get a bigger positive, there's some kind of negative that goes with it. And then this one is a flat plus 5% damage output, so it's a decent one to have there. This one is 5% damage to all things. And then gun turret damage plus 5, explosive plus 5, all health plus 10. Actually, that's a pretty solid one to have, especially up for barricades. 50% health boost is pretty nice. Anyway, let's go ahead and drill with this configuration and see if we hit anything else down here, because this is also going to be where we're going to end this particular episode. Digging holes for fun and profit, and we are safe. Inactive forge, stop and spend a forge core, and I didn't get anything. Yeah, you are kind of gambling a little bit with your resources with those, because we had a few earlier as well where I spent and got nothing. Banner drill, nothing. I don't know if there's anything I can do that determines chance of getting stuff for those, because as I said, I'm not super familiar with that mechanic. Oh, and someone randomly made +2 magazine size for turrets. Yeah, useful. I'll take it. If nothing else, I'm going to scrap it and get a part out of it. Okay, where are we? Narrow tunnels, great for choke points. Cool. We've got some spare swarm cores. Let's put one more into here. Gun turrets, turrets accuracy, turret damage and rate of fire. Big bump to damage and only a modest reduction in fire rate, which we can overcome just by massing turrets actually, so that's a really good one. Minus 3%. It's actually not as... it's normally minus 2.5 for a plus 7.5, so minus 3%, but they know we're going to be mass building these things, I think, is why it's slightly higher, but that's still a sizable chunk to help with individual shot power, so I'll take that one for sure. Anyway, barracks, let's see, all damage, which is 1. My individual soldiers do 40, so that's actually not a good one, that rifle upgrade. Damage and rate of fire, massive fire rate but slightly less damage. Let's, again, damage rate of fire, there we go. But I'm not going to modify further because, you know, that's going to be crafting things up and we'll get to that next time. So, this is Biomark 3, spending my forge cores before I forget. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps me, helps the channel, give me those virtual headbutts I oh so crave. And we'll catch you all some other time for more diggy holes or, you know, other things as well. Oh, by the by, this one actually beat out main sequence coming back around because main sequence has got that update planned, though normal suggested that I just drop into the experimental branch on that, and I might do that depending on when the update is expected to hit. I'll double check after I finish recording here. But yeah, I'll see you all later.